KKHT wants you to meet three of the classiest guys in real estate.
I am Chris Kelso, the maestro of mortgage.
I am Rob Cook, the godfather of real estate.
And I'm Joe Orsack, the king of credit swing. And together, we're the Real Estate Rat Pack. Much like us, real estate right now is smoking hot. So whether it's buying, selling, or owning, you need to check out the Real Estate Rat Pack.
They're here to take your calls and answer your questions live. Call now, 1-800-808-5548. And
Mics
now,
are on!
The Real Estate Rat Pack!
Yeah! Where are we going to start this show off like we did last show?
Yes, absolutely.
You know,
it's just a continuation throughout the week. It never really stops. It just keeps going.
My wife was mad at us. She wanted to know more about the pool, and we were laughing too much. Because she is in full court press for a pool.
Well, I know Brett
like,
Hatfield would be willing to come out to your house
and
talk more about that pool for you. So.
Yet another thing I'm certain of.
Yes,
we actually are going to talk to him, though, about it, because we are seriously getting a pool. And what a great time to mention, he is a new sponsor.
He's a great new sponsor. That is correct.
That's right. That's
With Down Under Pools.
I think we made him laugh so much last week, we shook his wallet out.
Yeah.
I would concur with you there.
I think he had a lot of fun, though.
He did. And, man, he's got some beautiful pools. Man, we spent a lot of time on his website checking them out. And, man, he's got some gorgeous, seriously gorgeous pools. I'm not just saying that because he's a sponsor.
And just so you know, Joe, you can put a pool in a new house as well.
We can.
And, we have people
Rob,
here can actually help you move.
This is my compromise, Rob. I don't want to move.
And especially, you want to do it in the construction phase before they, build the house.
Yes.
They can go ahead and dig that hole in the backyard.
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct. That way when you move in, it's all ready to go for you.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's not off the table, but Kim has kind of said, if we aren't going to get a new house, then we are getting a pool.
Well, then,
and that was kind of a period, and she's already got money saved, and she's stashing cash on me.
We're going to lose a lot of fodder for conversation, though.
Yeah,
that's correct.
I can't leave any money on the counters. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
And and let me tell you something, Joe.
John.
We were talking here because we had some great guests. I'm going to let you introduce you to the show.
Guests.
But one of the guests that we have here actually very similar to Kim. She rules the roost. But I'll let you introduce them first, though.
Absolutely. Some new friends of mine. I want to make sure I get their company name right here. The Real Estate People. Really, really glad to have them on. Names are at least easy. I got that part. I just wanted to make sure that we had your company name right. The Real Estate People, both Misty and James Lucas, and my old friend Askia, who has just arrived in the studios. His limo was running late, so
yeah, we got to talk to that driver.
You just can't get good limo service.
Yeah, you just can't get good limo drivers anymore.
But the subject matter today is from apartments to homes.
Yes. It's a subject we don't touch on enough on the show.
It has become a huge part of the market.
Huge part of the market.
2008, leasing has gone up exponentially. It went up from 2008 to 2009, 25%. And even in a robust sales year of 2013, it was still up 19%.
It's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy. Well, when you're moving to one of the hottest cities in America, and there's just not
and literally
yes, yes, exactly, and there's just not enough housing on the market. We can't get enough houses to out there to list. I mean, it's just they're gone as fast as they get on the market. It seems like leasing is becoming a lot hotter button right now.
I was talking with James and Misty before the show, and they're talking about the trend is that they actually want to take people from that rental piece and ultimately move them into a home. So let's kind of start there.
Absolutely.
So kind of talk about your process.
Well, our process
and
is...
talk about how long you've been in business and things like that. Let's talk about you.
Who the heck are you?
Who the heck are you? Why are you here today?
I am who my wife says I am, actually.
But he is very well educated.
Today I'm the broker of the Real Estate People alongside with my wife, Misty Lucas, and our office manager, Askia Bell. We've been in the business for 7 years now. In the past 2 or 3 years, when it comes to apartment leasing, we've never seen this before. We've seen 30% price increases when it comes to apartment homes. I've leased at one property for the past 7 years, one bedrooms between $599 and $734. That one bedroom now is between $930 and $1050.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Kids, basic economic system, supply and demand. I mean, when the supply is low and the demand is high, prices are going to increase. now we just need more properties being built. As you see, they're being built now as we speak, which is good for us as agents, as apartment locators. But now we're more than just apartment locators. We're our client's agent in every aspect.
Yeah, you actually had a name change because of that. Because
we had to have a name change, exactly. I mean, we've had some people that were living in apartment homes for quite some time that we've had as clients in the past move into homes, and now they're listing their homes. In the past 7 years of our clients, we've got a couple of $500,000 homes on HAR. You can go by and look at our listings. Just look up James Lucas. You'll see my wife and I. We see our listings there. We didn't want to put apartment search outside of their door because that's what we were in the past. So my wife came up with this great idea. She said, "Hey, babe, let's change the name of the company because we've got a lot of clients that we've put in apartment communities in the past looking to buy homes, and now we've got clients looking to list homes." And so we didn't expect that when we first got into the business as being apartment locators. We just looked at being an apartment locator, putting them in an apartment, and moving on. But now we're seeing that it's a cycle. And so I said, well, you've got a gift of that. So what's going to be the new name? And she said, well, let's see. I mean, she came up with it immediately. And she said, the Real Estate People. I said, babe, that's too catchy and too good. That's not going to be available. And she said, well, let's call Austin and see. She called Austin, Texas, found out that it was available. We LLC'd it. We revamped the whole company, and we're getting a real good buzz about it. I mean, Askia is doing a great job in getting us out in the community. We've already got hundreds of clients that we've put in apartments, but now we're just informing our clients that we've had a name change and that we're going to help them through the cycle of moving from an apartment and getting your credit worthy through Joe's company.
Yeah. What a segue.
Man, let me tell you something. Joe came into our office and he owned the office. I thought my wife was the boss and I was the boss afterwards. Joe came in and said, "Listen, man, I hear you got all of these families and apartments. We're gonna convert them from renters into buyers." I said, "Man, I've got some credit issues with some of my clients. Not anymore." Man, he sat us down and he schooled us from A to Z. I said, "Man, isn't that something?" And so we went from there, and now we've got some of our renters actually involved in his system of getting their credit worthy. And those who get their credit worthy will then be ready to
I like
get into
that
the buying process.
rather than say clean up your credit, say credit worthy, because a lot of times they just have erroneous information on there.
Yeah.
And
the biggest reason why I wanted to have you guys on the radio was that philosophy. I know plenty of apartment locators. For me, it's something I'm passionate about. My company's mission statement is building stronger communities. And for me, there are times and places for apartments. I'm not going to bash on them, just all out. But apartments are temporary housing. Mm-hmm. They were never meant to be permanent housing. In order to build, there's so much data to show it. The strength of the family, the difference between an apartment and a home, education, everything is impacted when you are able to move into that home. And it's something I really, really believe in. So when you guys talked about that, and that was your philosophy of being focused on moving them from an apartment into housing, I was like, absolutely. Because there's a place. I mean, you have those bumps in the road in life and all those sort of things. An apartment is just the right place to be at that time.
Well, the mindset is you're a temporary resident. And the mindset is that you have the pride of ownership once you're in a home.
Absolutely.
And it changes the whole dynamic.
Absolutely.
And that's why a lot of subdivisions won't even allow a certain percentage of homes to be rentals. They're very clear on that. They'll only allow maybe 5% of the homes to be a rental unit.
And you've got different type of renters for different type of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example.
Talk about
Let's say, for instance, let's go to the suburban area, Katy, where you guys were just right what you were saying. Let's say, for instance, you've got a family that wants to lease a 3-bedroom. 3-bedroom in Katy 3 years ago, $1,099. 3-bedroom in Katy, $1,500.
Wow.
Okay? So you've got a family, like you said, an apartment is good for us now. We might not be able to be homeowners at the time. We get them into the system of leasing an apartment for 12 months, getting them credit worthy, and buying, right? Because they can't buy at that moment. Now, let's go inside the loop. All right, you've got the engineer or the young accountant or the young attorney who doesn't want to buy a home right now. He or she wants to live in a 2,500, 700 square foot apartment. They want to be inside the loop where everything is happening. Mm-hmm. And so they want to do that for 2 years. So we put them inside of those apartment homes, stay in constant contact with them, and then eventually, you never know, they may get engaged or they may want to settle down a little bit, move into the suburban area, or stay inside the loop and now buy a condominium. And so you have people renting for different reasons. Some people rent not because they can't purchase. They rent because it's just right for them at that moment.
Absolutely.
They do have the credit. They are credit worthy, but they're young and they want to be inside the loop. They want to be where it's happening. They want to rent a nice townhome or a nice penthouse and then buy a condominium later on. And so when we go to back to the suburban area, we've got families who are renting because they just can at the moment. And that's where myself, that's where Misty, that's where Askia, that's where you guys come in, Joe and Rob. You guys come in to where we help those families become homeowners in the future when we get them credit worthy and ready to buy.
Well, let's not leave Chris out of this because once
I
they
was
get
Chris
there,
as well.
That's what we take.
Oh, Chris is here.
I was waiting for Chris's wife to come in and tell me what to do and tell me to mention him.
but it is a cycle and it's a process and things. But a lot of people don't understand. Well, I don't have good credit, so I'm going to lease now. But the fact is, you still have to have good credit.
To leave.
Yeah.
To lease.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
we
you
get
were talking
plenty
about
of people
before
on
the
that.
show. Actually, is that you had made offers and things like that. You had someone who had good credit and then someone who had, excellent credit, but someone offered more and they were able to get that deal.
I've never seen it like that before, and Missy can attest to this as well. Is that
If we let her talk, yes.
she's gonna take over in a little while. I'm trying to get all mine in now.
Rob, you didn't notice, but she pulled off one of her shoes.
I think she sure did. Go ahead.
I
man.
think she
Tell
was
us
going to
about the
smack
part.
you with it.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me know that.
So true. But no, seriously, it is a cycle, and we have to make sure that people are sometimes knowledgeable to know about how the cycle works. It's so important to make sure that you have your clients well informed, because when you have an informed client, it makes your job easy.
Yeah.
And also something that the real estate people thrive on is definitely top-notch 5-star customer service. And how we can deliver that customer service is that we're knowledgeable in getting our clients very well educated about the process. So literally, we take our couples that just graduated from UT, Texas Tech, whatever, we get them as clients and we start them off thin. Hey, this is what you get your apartment, because something that is really, really weird is people don't understand, like, this is a contract. You can't just break your lease. It goes on your credit. You'll be really surprised to know that a lot of young people don't get that. They're like, okay, they'll be in an apartment and they're like, well, Misty, they'll call me and they're like, Misty, I don't like this about the apartment community. They're making me mad. I just want to leave. And I have to literally sit them down. Hey, no, that's not what you do, because it'll put this ding on your credit and then we'll have problems in the long run. Because as you mentioned, now apartment communities are really wanting to have good credit as well. So it's just very important that we make sure that our clients are very well informed about the process. That's what I like about when Joe came into the office. He helped us, and then now we can pass.
Joe,
it
did
on
you
to
pay them?
You would think.
He just really did an awesome job. But
Thank
then
you.
now you get well connected, because for me, when I pass my clients off to someone, it's very important that I know that they care and that they're really knowledgeable. So now we have Chris as a loan officer that we can filter our clients through.
Well, and one thing I wanted to tell everybody, and what you were talking about is very true. Not only is it important not to break your lease if you're out there, but remember, mortgage companies are going to go out there and they're going to do a verification of rent. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, if it's an institutional VOR, we're going to have to know that you can legally get out of that contract. And if not, then that either has to be counted against you, or if you get out of it illegally and it's counted and you have a late payment, that then goes against. It's a ding that says, guess what? It counts just like a mortgage late. So then all of a sudden it derails your ability to buy right there.
Absolutely.
The other thing is I thought was very good, as you mentioned, I've always said this, an educated consumer is your best consumer out there. And what y'all provide, I think, is absolutely incredible. It's education, it's information, it's ongoing information. Also, not only when they get into the home or the apartment in this case, but also everything they can do in the steps to move out of there in the future. Or we were talking about this, before the show started. A lot of people also still are real estate opportunity investors.
Absolutely.
Just because they're renting doesn't mean they don't have an interest in real estate. And that's very important to note as well.
Exactly.
True.
Well, yeah. And tell a little bit about our services. Is that we are the real estate people. We're located off of Westheimer and Derry Ashford. Our number is 281-493-2100. Something that's the reason why you would use our services, we find you a place for free. We actually have a moving company that will move you for free into your new apartment home. And then we'll keep in constant contact with you as well to make sure that you're on the schedule of purchasing at the end of your lease contract.
Interesting that we have that moving company with
Absolutely
us
today, but unfortunately what happens is time flies when you're having fun, and we have to take a break right now. So
800-808-5548.
For any questions you have, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Such as you, me She's an old immovable object like me. You can bet as sure as you live